Hello, welcome to That's Camellia podcast. This is your go to space for conversations that aren't just powerful, but they are designed to help you grow, ignite a conversation. They're designed for you to say, well, let's talk about that. I am your host, Camellia. So, bi monthly, I will be diving into some raw, real, truly insightful conversations and sometimes dialogue with some guests that I'll have on the show. And I know that these conversations will leave you empowered and uplifted because that's the goal. I want to encourage you to look, hope beyond what you can see. So think about this. Think about That's Camellia podcast as a little corner of the world where we're going to spark some change. We're going to change the world one meaningful conversation at a time. So settle in, grab you a quick little drink, and let's get encouraged together. And let's cause a ripple that will change the world. Okay, so let's talk about something encouraging today. We're talking about the pivot to awareness. You know how that is, right? Life gets busy. We get caught up in our daily grind, the routine, the constant to do list, and sometimes in the midst of all that motion and rhythm and routine, we accidentally sometimes will lose sight of our bigger goals and even just what truly matters to us. I mean, routine and consistency are absolutely great. Don't get me wrong, they're the backbone of our progress. But the trick is staying present, staying aware, even when things feel like they're just, I don't know, just happening, right? It's easy to get discouraged when we're pouring all of our energy and our thoughts and our life and our money into something that we do not see immediate results. Oh, I know everybody can understand what I'm talking about right here. I mean, we feel unmotivated by these things that don't show fruit yet. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I am learning. Growth takes time. We want everything quick. Microwave it real quick, right? Instant. But growth takes time. And sometimes it simply requires a shift in our awareness. Let me share a little story of my own that really drives this home. Hopefully, it drives it home for you. I, I want to say in the past year, 8 months or so to a year, I've been on this mission to grow some specific vegetables in my garden, like bell peppers, green onions, and tomatoes. Those are things that I use all the time in the kitchen, right? So I'm like, I grow my own, right? I could do this. My nanny, when I was growing up, she had a big garden, so I'm used to going out to into the backyard to go pick up some either some tomatoes, some okra. That was normal, right? So I grew up seeing that. Even my nanny had chicken, so she would go to the chicken coop to get eggs. So I said, okay, I'll try my hand at this. Let me tell you, there have been many failed attempts. I have put seed in the ground, started it in a little pot, and the plants will just shrivel up. It's said that you're supposed to have a flower and then there's going to be fruit. It was a long time before I got any flowers. And moments when I honestly thought maybe this is just not my thing. I mean, I could grow an ivy, I could grow inside plants. I'm fine with that, but I wanted bell peppers, green onions, and tomatoes. But this last attempt, this one has been different. And this time, I was more intentional about every single detail. It wasn't just about planning, it was about placement of where I put the plant, making sure that they got the right amount of sun, consistent water, which is something new for me, and then shelter. When it got cold, I was intentional about bringing that plant inside so it would not freeze. This was a big pivot in my awareness. I realized that during colder spans that the plant needed to come inside. It was an extra step. It took a bit more effort, but it was born from, just being more intentional about observing and learning and being truly aware of their needs beyond just putting them in the ground or putting them in a pot. So, guess what? Almost 8 months or so later, I have four beautiful bell peppers growing. It took a while to even get the flowers to grow first on these bell pepper plants, but now they're here. Little vibrant promises of harvest, right? I mean, now with my tomatoes, they've been a little harder for me. Even though some people say it's easy, it's been a long journey with my tomato plants. But as of last week, I do have flowers on my tomato plants. So I am just waiting for those tomatoes to appear. Now, for the green onions, well, the jury's still out. I'm still being intentional and observing, and I'm still hopeful, right? That they will come. Now, my journey, my garden journey it's just a little metaphor of how so many areas of our lives, how we often plant seeds, a new goal, healthy habit, a dream, a new hobby, and then we get frustrated when it doesn't immediately sprout. It doesn't take off like we thought. I mean, we might even abandon it. We might even just stop altogether. We started and then we stop. I've done that so many times. Not realizing that what is truly needed was a pivot of my awareness. Maybe I just give a little bit more focus to something. What am I not doing? So this pivot to awareness that I'm talking about, do you know what I'm talking about? Can any of you agree with me on that? So observing without judgment, that is something that I observed my plants needed when we're talking about the shelter. When I was more intentional, when it got cold, I brought them in. So, what are you observing in your own life? Are you noticing patterns of energy levels, your reactions, even your thought process? How are you thinking about it? Don't criticize yourself. This is just about seeing what it is. What is it? Call that thing what it is. All right? Without judgment. Don't this is not about judgment, but just a clear view. Take a moment and just think about it. Look at it. What is it? Call it out. And then have some intentional adjustments. You're going to have to adjust. So once you observed and whatever, small, big, large, be intentional about the adjustments that you need to make. Make them small. Some of them might be big adjustments that you have to make. But I would say start with a list. Make a list. Once you see it, you observe it, then make a list of the different things that you need to do differently. Might be a conversation, dedicate time to actually, be intentional about whatever that project is in your life. Just like your plant, like my plant placement. It was small tweaks that I made just to get my green bell peppers. So think about that, right? And also trust the process. This goes without saying, right? Even without immediate fruit, sometimes it doesn't look right. But perhaps that's the hardest part. No, not perhaps. That is the hardest part to me. Because my bell peppers took 8 months to go from seed to fruit. There was a long stretch of time where I was just still doing that routine of watering, picking off the dead leaves, making sure it has enough sun, just normal routine, right? So it was a long time, and sometimes that time period is what we're not willing to process, but we do need it. So it's a powerful reminder that all growth is is linear. It's not immediate, right? So stay committed, be consistent, and trust that your intentional efforts will yield the results, even if you don't see the results immediately. That's the key. Sometimes you won't, but don't be moved by the lack of visible progress. Say that again, Camellia. Don't be moved by the lack of visible progress. Your consistent awareness is the process. That's part of the process, all right? So, the journey of growth is often about making small, mindful pivots. It's all about paying closer attention to the nuances of our lives, our goals, and even our needs. It's about remembering that even in the mundane routines, there are opportunities for awareness that can lead to beautiful, unexpected harvests. So, in order for you to be aware, you have to listen to what's going on within you. All right, another great, powerful, and thoughtful conversation on That's Camellia podcast. I truly hope any something has been discussed or said that resonated with you in this life episode in your life right now, or sparked a new thought, or just a little bit of peace and laughter. So, if you're ready to continue in your life episodes with me, or if you feel like you have a story that needs to be shared, head over to that'scamellia.com. That's where you'll find more information about my one on one and group coaching sessions, and even to apply to be a guest on here on That's Camellia podcast. So before you go, if you love what you heard today, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and follow That's Camellia podcast wherever you listen. And you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram, and of course on my website, that'scamellia.com. Your support helps us to spread these ripples of empowerment far and wide. So, all right, until next time, remember to be the ripple that changes others' lives. You got this.